Let's practice random number generation. Here we have a for loop that you will learn soon, but what it basically does is to run this statement 3 times. So this statement calls the rand function and print out the random value that it generated. If I run the program, you can see the 3 random value that it generates. Here, we said that the initial seed for rand function is 1, and in different runs of the program, it will give us the same sequence. So let's try it out. First check this number over here and then run it again. See, the same sequence is generated again. So let's try a different seed. Remember that in each program we can only set the seed once. So let's see the sequence this time. The sequence has changed. We saw that if we want to get different sequence of random values in different runs of the program, we can use time as a seed. So let's include seed time and then use time 0, which will give us the current time as seconds since January 1st, 1917, I guess. So let's run the program and compare the sequence. Here is the first run. What if I run it again? See, I got the different sequence. And again. So that's one option to solve the problem. Now we can try to produce random variables in different ranges. Let's try to generate numbers between 17 to 20. How many numbers are there? There are 4 of them. So we need to use mod 4, which will give us numbers from 0 to 3. So we need to shift it by 17. In this way, it will give us numbers from 17 to 20. So let's copy it over here and see a couple of numbers that it generates. See, 18, 17, and 17. Now let's try to generate random variables in a negative range. -10 to -4. How many numbers are there? -7, 6, 5, and 4. There are 7 numbers. So we need to use mod 7. And how to shift it? We can use either side of the interval. So we have 0 to 6. When we use modulo 7, we have 0 to 6. So we either can use 6 or 0. If we use 6, we should map 6 to -4. So we need to shift it by 10. What about 0? If we want to use 0, we need to shift 0 to -10. So we need to shift to -10. So let's copy this and see a couple of numbers that it generates. We can just increase the numbers to see if it's right in the range. See, the numbers seems to be in the range. Next, we can try to generate fractional random variables. What if we need to generate random numbers between 0 and 1 with precision 2? In order to do that, we need integers between 0 to 100. So let's use mod 101. In this way, we will be having integer values between 0 and 100. Now we need to map this to numbers between 0 and 1. We can just divide it 100. And be careful to use floating point number. Otherwise, most of them will be equal to 0. So let's see what happens here. See, we have floating point numbers between 0 and 1. We also can shift the whole thing. What if we need floating point numbers between 4 and 5 with precision 3? Again, the length of the interval is 1, but we need precision 3 here. So we need to produce from 0 to 1000 and use 1001. Then we are gonna divide by 1000. In this way, I will be having random numbers between 0 and 1 with 3 decimal points. So now I need to shift them. We need to shift by 4. I just forgot to convert it to floating number. And now let's copy it over and see the results. See, we have floating point numbers between 4 and 5 with 3 decimal numbers.